This is kind of an odd video, but I think one that I think personally I wanted to make for myself. Um, what I want to do in life is something that always has, I think, really escaped me. I don't think I ever really wanted to know kind of like what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. Um, it always been kind of a mystery for me, and I think I just one of these days I wish I'd woken up and just kind of immediately known that I wanted to do this in life. This is the one thing. Maybe I woke up and wanted to become a fucking astronaut. Maybe I'd wake up and want to become a fisherman. Maybe one day I wanted to wake up and become literally anything. This of course is not the reality of the situation. Now, as of now, I mean I have a decent job. I'm a sous chef, so I mean that's interesting, but it's certainly not something that I have a growing passion for or something that I see myself doing the rest of my life. And so I kind of thought to myself, and I think more recently I've done a lot of thinking about where I am now and what I actually want to be doing. What are some things that I'm passionate about, and what are some things I want to do moving forward? So I got to thinking, and I think ever since I was little, I think content creation was always something that actually really drew me towards that. That's something I found entertaining. I've been inspired by a lot of people who do content creation, and I think this is like actually something I want to do. But here's the thing, I'm a overthinker and a little bit of a perfectionist, so doing this, I'm kind of almost, scared of the camera. I sat here for like 5 minutes just staring at this screen, just basically like not even sure where to start. And so I think getting over that fear and just starting immediately kind of like, you got to throw yourselves to the wolves sometimes. So, down to another topic, I'd say. Um, of course, I want to get over these fears. I want to be able to move forward in my life in a way that I am comfortable with, and I want to, you know, I want to set a good future to myself, and so I have to focus on the things that I can do now and not crazy long-term goals that are a little bit unrealistic, I'd say. So I mean, like, I think anybody would want to become maybe a millionaire, billionaire, me included. I think that'd be fucking awesome, right? But I can't do that right now. I have to focus on the things that I can do right now. The self-improvement things, get my gym routine going again, because I mean, God knows that's been out of the works for about a year. So, I think it'd be nice to have that back. And I think the time that I'll have here in the next, you know, half year, I'd say, uh, will allow me to kind of get myself on a place that I'd like to be at. And I think generally in life, I think I'm a little bit confused. And the reason why I think I'm mainly confused about, my life in that regards is that growing up, I think I was pretty much just taught that education was the only thing that mattered, and really nothing else did. And friends didn't matter. Any of that stuff didn't matter. Family, whatever. Education, I was taught, is absolutely just what matters and what you need to focus on. And while I do respect that outlook at some point that was given to me, it certainly didn't really translate into my life that well. And so I think going through school and stuff like that when I was younger, I was definitely like, more depressed, more anxious. I was hard on myself. I think I was hard on others, and then other people were hard on me back, right? So growing up, straight up, I did not think I was going to make it to 18 years old. Realistically, I think I was telling myself that maybe even though it was a little bit of a edgy, angsty phase, that I was probably gonna kill myself by the time I was 18. I didn't think I was gonna make it that far. Um, and then I turned 18, and life didn't seem too bad. It seemed like I was on the up and outs. I was going to college. I was like, you know what, this is I think this is gonna work out. We're gonna kind of see what happens. But Mason, I'm telling you, as I tell myself, uh, you know, have fun till you're 21, and then that's it. I don't see what life could look like past 21 years old. And so that was kind of the deal I had with myself, that hey, 21, that's wraps. That's gonna be when I leave. And you know, time flies as time does, and I turned 21. And when I turned 21, I was like, all right, this is really it. This is gonna be. You gotta make the most of this year. You gotta have a, really swell time. My 21st birthday was one of probably the lamest birthdays I think I've ever had. Like, I shit you not, I probably have fourth grade birthdays that rival that whole my 21st. It was not very interesting or fun by any means, and certainly not what a lot of people would plan out their 21st birthday to be, because I didn't really have at the time I didn't really have anybody to celebrate it with, so things happen as things do. Um, and time flies as time does, and 2 weeks ago I turned 22 years old. And so I'm just kind of like here now. Those plans of, offing myself before I was a certain age, and, just I lived for the fun of it, and then that's, about it for the extent of it. I think, like, now I have to look at it realistically and kind of be like, hey, I think I am going to be here for the long run. Let's see what happens, right? So now it's time, I think, to really look back at what I'm capable of and what other people are capable of, in that matter, where it's like, if you didn't think you were going to make it to the point that you were at, now what do you have to do? Now you have to look forward. I think you have to, plan out a little bit realistically on what we're going to actually be doing, because here we are. And I know I'm not the only person who has been in this situation or has lived their life like this, but, I am, and I wanted to put that out there in a way. So I understand. I think this is a kind of just like a blah blah yap sesh of a video, but legitimately, I think I want to put myself out there in a way where I have a baseline. This is who I am. This is how I've thought. This is what I've struggled with, and now I think it is building yourself back up. Let's do it. I think I really want to bet on myself and win this year. I want to do good things for me. So I don't play as many video games as I used to, even though I have an infinite collection of them. It really is like, I have this whole library of games I could be playing, and I don't honestly want to play them. Nor do I have that much time to at this point. I will from time to time when I'm bored, but I don't think personally that it's that productive of a thing I want to do. If playing video games is like the content creation that like I want to make, then you know what, like, more power, right? It is what it is. But I want to help people. I want to inspire people to do better. I want to relate to other people and be able to talk with them. Because I think growing up, and especially like who I am now, I'd say like I always was, I've been a lot of people's therapist, quote unquote, and I like talking with people. I like hearing people's issues. I like, because I can relate to them in a way, but I want to help people, and I'm tired of doing the 9 to 5 as I have been doing for a couple years now. I can't see myself living the rest of my life like that. I just don't think that's realistic for myself. So recently I've been working on what I can do on a day-to-day scale, right? What do I have control of, what I can do for myself in a day? You wake up, you go outside, get some sun, go on a walk, set yourself a step goal, and just eat well, do well for yourself, go to the gym, do something new every day, try to learn something new every day. I think these are like core principles that I think any person, if you really stuck to it, you will see a difference, and you will see how much better you are as a person. Because unfortunately I've been out of the gym for a bit, but when I had a routine going, I was a lot more confident. I was, more, I think, outgoing. I liked the way I looked. And, honestly, I think that is something a lot of people do struggle with. And it's something I certainly do struggle with now. And I used to a lot more back in the day. So, and I think one of the last things that I just kind of would want to talk about is that, you know, you should surround yourself with people who truly inspire you. And realistically, I heard this a lot, from like, wellness coaches and other stuff, like people on social media platforms and stuff like that. But I never really realized or noticed that, I knew someone who inspired me until one of my best friends began a big, life-changing journey for himself. And then he started, posting more on all of his social media platforms, and just like, he's just doing it, right? He started doing this to improve, and, he started improving himself, and he harped on it, and he really focused and put energy and everything he had into doing it. And now he makes videos that make me smile, that make me want to get up and out of bed and focus and do better for myself on that day. And I have never in my life known someone before that moment that legitimately gave me that much passion, that much drive, just immediately, just like from hearing what they had to say. Because they could be having a bad day. You could be having a bad day. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's how you put yourself out there. And I think it's how you present yourself in a situation. If you're having a shitty day, and you know what, you're going about it, but even if you are being positive towards everyone else, even when you are having a really shitty day, they will have a better attitude. You have helped them, and maybe they will return that back to you. So I want to focus on surrounding myself by people who inspire me. I do. Because now that I see this and I see the difference, and I see people who I have spent a lot of time around who wouldn't give me the energy, or maybe wouldn't help me in a situation or anything like that, and I really look at that and it's like, well, then why would I want to continue being around these people? You know? So, honestly, I'm trying to figure out what else we could talk about here. Legitimately, I think just this year, I want to challenge myself, and I want to challenge others to really bet on yourself. Do something that puts you out of your comfort zone, like I'm doing right now, because honestly, I'd be scared of the camera if it wasn't for the fact that I really do feel a drive, and I want to do something different. And I want to put all of the energy and everything that I have into doing something I want to do, because then I will feel like that eventually will be returned to me in some way. So, please get out there, be good people, inspire others, be an inspiration to others, and be the reason somebody else looks at you and wants to get out of bed and be better for themselves. Go to the fucking gym, do whatever, even if it's just taking a walk or something like that. Just strive to be better every day, in the words of a very good friend of mine. And I will hopefully see you again soon.